I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the gayest show on AfterBuzz TV, possibly on the internet. I'm your host, Ollie Drennan, and I am joined by a very special person who's always quarantining with the stars. He is the Peyton Royce to my Billy Kay, the Brian Santos. How are you doing, my love?
I am doing amazing. I'm so excited to meet Peyton because I love her little splits moments, the little flexible, come on, dancer. So I live.
I'm glad that you love Peyton because I love me some Billy. I love them both. They're iconic. They're iconic.
They are.
But Billy just speaks to me. So I'm so happy that you were down for Peyton because I'm all about that Billy Kay or Billy Gay. How about that? How about that?
Come on.
Thank you guys for joining us this week. We have a lot of fun topics to talk about. Unfortunately, Amir is booked and busy, girl. He's doing his interviews on Instagram Live. Go make sure to show him some love this week. He needs it. Give him the likes. And make sure you're liking us. Subscribe to this show. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. We really appreciate that. And if you do, we might shout you out next week. So we have so many fun topics to talk about, Brian. We're going to talk about the coming out of a very sexy football player. We got to talk about our girl Raven Symone getting married.
Yeah.
Oh, and a little show dropped on Hulu called Love Victor. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a queen, trans actor, and freaking amazing queen actor on Pose, Dominic Jackson, getting petitioned to be Storm in the MCU.
Yeah.
We got to talk about some shady stuff, of course. We're going to talk about some Jeffree Star. We're going to talk about Shea Coulee standing up to racism. And of course, probably the queen of pop, Britney Spears, shouting us out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we get right to it, Brian? We got to start out with a topic that I know you're super excited about. Former football star Thomas Beattie has come out gay in a new interview. It's reading a story really kind of like broke my heart because, in football, it's still a very hyper masculine sport, as a lot of sports are. And reading how he was really sad, he was depressed, the team was winning, but he wasn't able to be his true self. And it took Pride Month 2020 to finally come out. And I want to know your thoughts about his story. I mean, he's such a beautiful, beautiful man. And just kind of his story and how it was really hard for him. There's that fear of being gay on a team, like a sports team, and how one of my team members going to think. So what are your thoughts on him coming out and really overcoming, the possible discrimination in sports?
I 100% agree. It was so sad to see that in 2020, we still can't be open. There's still places where you can't be open and honest about who you are, which he obviously hid throughout his career as a footballer, as soccer for us US gays. So he hid his sexuality all this time, and I'm sure that was something that he struggled with. So it was so sad to see that, but I'm happy that he finally is able to speak and live in his truth now, especially during Pride Month. Obviously, everyone was giving him overwhelming support. He's gorgeous. I had a lot of fun, making our little thumbnail and looking at more shirtless pictures of him. We can't get enough of that. So yeah, it's great to see that he finally is able to live in his truth, to come out during Pride Month, and he's very hot. So if he's single, I'm available.
Right after seeing that Speedo picture, I'm like, hell yeah! But hopefully,
yes.
I just hope moving forward, because I mean, you think about these football teams and these other sports teams, soccer, baseball. These 30 men, okay, not all of them are straight. There's got to be a couple gays up in there, a couple queers, maybe bisexual. You never freaking know. And I just hope that sports, ESPN, and the NFL, hopefully they can be more inclusive, or at least attempt to be, especially during Pride Month. Where's the pride logo that a lot of brands do? I just hope that there's more inclusivity, because you just think about some of the players that are in the closet, and there's nothing wrong with being in the closet. I will never shame someone for being in the closet.
Exactly.
You want to come out where it's safe, and when you are as an individual are ready. But yeah, I hopefully these sports teams can be a little bit more inclusive moving forward, and he can kind of move forward and maybe be on a panel for a sports organization. It's hard for me to talk about sports, Brent, because I'm so what do they do exactly? But as part of the queer community, we can kind of lend our hand with helping and supporting people like Thomas, But any more thoughts before we move on to a vision I'm having?
I do have some experience in sports. Might come just to surprise people, but I played baseball when I was little. It was actually quite fun. I love, I never got to play in a little team because I felt like I would have been all up in there with the cute boys, but that's another story for another show. But yeah, I'm just, again, happy that he's able to come out. And like you said, I would hope that there's some kind of, um, movement towards inclusivity or some kind of actionable measure that we can take to have more diversity and inclusivity in sports, because I feel like that's something that's not really talked about. It's very hush hush. And I hope that, especially during Pride Month or as we move forward, as we come out of COVID-19 with new things happening in the world, that we can get some kind of inclusivity and diversity.
Absolutely. That's beautifully said. And another thing that was beautifully, well, not said, but beautifully seen on trending on social media this week was Raven Symone. And she came out herself with her marriage, which took a lot of us by surprise, me especially. I don't know, Brian, if you were shocked, but she has married her partner, Miranda Madej, and they have released some wedding photos. Oh my gosh, Raven and her beautiful rainbow braids, perfect for the occasion of Pride Month. What are your thoughts? Were you shocked at this? I'm just really happy for her, regardless.
Yes, I was not shocked. I actually didn't know she was in a relationship, but I definitely love how she kind of kept it private. She kind of just did her own thing, and she's like, "Hey, by the way, we're married." Like, I love how she didn't make it like such a big hoopla. She's like, "We're married. It was fun. We had a cute little intimate social distancing ceremony. We did our thing, and we're happy." So, like, celebrate gay relationships, celebrate queer relationships. We love everyone getting married and living their best life, because I'm next.
Right. And especially like Raven Symone. I did a RuPaul, sorry. Raven Symone. Raven Symone, it's kind of really commendable and honorable when these celebrities do kind of have these private lives. They don't have to showcase every single thing. It's like great to an extent to like, be open with your fan base. But at the same time, I find it so honorable for some of these celebrities to kind of take pride in being a little bit more private with their lives, So I just
Definitely.
really appreciated that. And I'm really happy. And I hope that, maybe they'll have kids, or maybe they'll just, and they just look super happy. And Miranda is like a woman that Raven said that she just understands me. And I think that's most important in a relationship. So shout out to you, Miranda and Raven. We're rooting for you. We're always rooting for you. And we just hope to see what else is new in your future, in a COVID-free future, hopefully.
Yes.
But I do want to talk about a little show that dropped, I mentioned earlier, on Hulu, Love, Victor. I've yet not to watch it, but Bryant, you have watched a little bit of it. Have you finished it? Have you?
I have finished it. And
Okay.
do you want me to spill the tea? I don't want to give you spoilers, but
Um,
I'll do it without spoilers.
do it
I'll do
without
my
spoilers.
best
Yes.
possible way to do it without spoilers.
Yes.
Here's the tea. It was sweet. First episode, loved it. So fun. I was so looking forward to it. I actually check it out on Quarantine with the Stars. I interviewed, her name is Pilar, Isabella Ferreira. She was the sweetest, most amazing little thing. Check that interview out. But I watched Love, Victor, and while I did love it, I thought it was an adorable sentiment of celebrating a healthy gay relationship. I don't think that it really did that. In the end, like, to give no spoilers as much as I can, the gays were made out to be kind of like the bad people, and the straight relationships took over, which is what I was not a fan of. We were able to celebrate like several straight relationships in the end of the season, and we were left with a kind of weird broken gay relationship, making the gay person to be the villain, which I guess if you look at it from like another perspective, it's kind of a good thing because it makes it more normalized. Like, it doesn't always celebrate, like, we talked about like the positive aspect of the gay, which is what I would love to see. But at the same token, it's like, wow, I feel like we kind of ended on a weird note. So I hope for a second season, obviously, because I want some development, and I want to see a healthy gay thriving relationship with positivity, and not what we kind of saw. So I'll leave it at that because I don't want to give you too much spoilers.
Girl, that sounds like all of my past relationships. Jesus Christ. Why are they reading at me? At me next time, Love, Victor. I definitely am interested. At first, when we were talking about it previously on gay Twitter, I was a little bit like iffy. That whole barista scene, I was like, roll my eyes. But then they came out with the trailer, which looked really interesting. It seemed like the lead character, who is also not white, which is great. He seemed a little bit, maybe he's bi, maybe he's pan, maybe he's just still trying to figure out his sexuality, maybe he is gay. There were just a lot of things left up in the air. So it did definitely interest me. However, I was kind of digging a little bit because I wanted to do a little bit more research. And the main character, he's not a gay actor.
We're back to this struggle.
I love a male Latinx lead, absolutely. But it just kind of like, oh, could you imagine just seeing like growing up being gay and Hispanic and just seeing like a gay Hispanic actor portray a gay Hispanic? Like that would be so powerful. So I love that it's doing different things than Love, Simon. I'm not a big fan of Love, Simon. I know you love Love, Simon, but Simon came for me when he was all about dissing Whitney Houston, saying that celebration was way too gay. And the star of that show, that movie was Ethan, who was the gay black femme character. That was the character that I was like, yes, Ethan on Love, Simon. Do you remember with the glasses? Well, anyways,
No.
Yeah, because he had such a small part.
I'm so lost right now.
Oh, well, he was a character that stole the show for me, and I love that character so much.
I'm gonna go watch him back and
yeah, he had the glasses, and he was bullied, and I was like, this character.
Oh yes! Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yes.
No, yeah, it's okay.
Who?
I haven't seen it in a minute, but that character like stole the show for me, and I was like, love Simon. Ugh, or Simon, you're so boring. You're so Wonder Bread. But yeah,
on, Wonder Bread.
Maybe I'll give this a chance, but I love your insight. Thank you so much. But if you want to check it out, go check it out on Hulu. Love Victor. There seems to be a lot of more themes and symbolism to play with for like a whole series rather than just like a movie, So a lot more to play with.
Definitely.
And a lot more diversity, so it seems.
Yes.
Did you want to say something? Sorry.
All I was gonna say was my last note is that I think the reason I didn't like it not as much as I would too is because it was very G, and my taste is 365 days, so that's probably a good measurement of what I was expecting, or some kind of leaning in that direction. I know it's high school, but
right.
It was very G.
But I love that you bring that up because that's another good point. I mean, look at Degrassi. That's for kids and they deal with sex,
Yeah. Come on, Riverdale.
Right. So there's a lot of, it's like, let's not like sugarcoat things basically especially if there's a lot of queer themes and characters. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
But real quick, I did want to just, another thing that dropped, not on Hulu, but on Netflix, was a new trans representation documentary, really showcasing a lot of trans directors, actors, producers in media. So movies, television, it really highlighted like problematic themes and why trans representation really took a really long time to get where it is today. There's lots of great actors, let's just Laverne Cox, Trace Lysette, Angelica Ross, MJ Rodriguez, Jazz Bono. So it's not just trans women, it's also trans men, which I feel like don't get a whole lot of spotlight, So I don't know if you watched it yet, but I totally recommend it 100%. If you want to get your trans fix, educate yourself, go watch it, please. It's a lot more interesting than Love Victor at this point. But Candace Cain is another one, and how she was on a show, and then they actually lowered her voice for like a particular scene to make. Oh my
god!
And that was very problematic because she was a openly trans woman on this show. Her character was, and so it really just takes, even like Bugs Bunny. Laverne Cox talks about Bugs Bunny, but definitely check it out on Netflix.
I do. I want to. I saw the trailer and it was so powerful already. Like I was like, gosh, I knew these things were happening, but to be able to bring such light to it and say, we've had enough. Like we've had enough of this misrepresentation of basically you're just bashing us. Like you're portraying us in such a negative light. So I love how they're using this platform to be like, we're moving on. We're coming out. We're showing out in media now and you better get used to it.
It's just like the thing I talked about in Love Victor. Cast trans roles to trans actors. Come on. Sorry, Jared Leto. Sorry, Scarlett Johansson. Give opportunity. ScarJo. Give opportunity to those that really need it and can actually portray it authentically. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
At me. I don't care. Real quick, I did want to mention Walking Dead actor and also the Teen Titans voice of Cyborg, Carrie Payton. I had a pleasure of interviewing him last year at Comic-Con, and he actually came out with his newly trans son on Instagram. And I thought that's so powerful. This kid coming out at the age of, I believe, 6.
Oh my gosh.
And his son is Carter. That was the name that Carter chose. And the reason why they chose Carter was because it sounded like his dad's name, Carrie. So I just wanted to showcase love and give love to Carrie and his son Carter and all of his family for being so inclusive and uplifting of this new trans son. It's really beautiful because also they are a Black family, and I love seeing a Black family embrace a trans family member because this is a movement that we're in with Black Lives Matter, and I think it's important to also be inclusive of Black queer lives and Black trans lives. We talked about this on the show. We had Reese, we had Jayla, and so and to just know their frustration with Black Lives Matter not always including them or not feeling a part of the movement. It's just important to really always give light to them and just to uplift them, as
Definitely.
allies.
I 100% agree. So really quick, I made a kind of like a boo-boo. I think I was in the wrong chat. So I don't know if it's like an old live stream, but it wasn't like coming up. So I don't know what's happening. So I see all our friends. Hi friends, we see you in this amazing chat with us. Randy Anderson, Purple Panda, Zoe Johnson, Trina Dong. Thank you all for being here. Sorry I was in the wrong chat. That's really funny. But they just have some fun stuff about pride, loving pride. Randy said, don't spill any tea on Love Victor, so I won't. Sorry if I kind of did. And Trina reminded me who that was. And we just love y'all for being here. Sorry, I was in the wrong chat.
No, well, you didn't spoil anything. You're good. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for shouting out the chat. Sometimes I ramble and I'm like, blah, blah,
No
blah, blah.
worries.
So thank you for shouting. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you, Bryant, for always shouting them out because they are just a part of this show as much as we are. Just saying.
Yes.
And we got to give one last shout out to another amazing trans representation, and that is Dominic Jackson from Pose. Have you watched Pose, Bryant? Come on.
Yes, that's my
Yes.
gig. I literally, so I started watching it August of last year. I watched season 1, and literally I binged it in like days, and I had to, like, I scoured the entire world to find season 2 because it wasn't on anything yet. I was like, how am I gonna watch it? It's so good. So good.
It's so amazing. You'll cry, you'll laugh, you'll get angry at some of the things that happen in the show. And also season 2 is on Netflix. There's only 2 seasons out, so go binge it if you haven't. But Dominic Jackson plays Elektra.
Yes.
Such an amazing queen. And fans are actually petitioning Dominic Jackson to be Storm in the MCU on change.org. I looked today because I wanted to see, I signed the petition. Hello.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? But I looked and I saw the signatures were up to 15,000 at this point.
Oh my gosh.
But it's just awesome that the fans are just really resonating with Dominic Jackson as an actor. And she went on Instagram, she showcased, kind of like the side-by-sides of her as Storm and just her in Pose as Elektra. And she just really gave a heartfelt message of how she always saw herself in Storm.
Yeah.
And she was really happy that people would just resonate with her, and that she said that it's okay if Marvel doesn't cast me or Marvel never sees this. I'm just happy that someone noticed and took light of who I am and what I want to portray. And she thanks everyone for uplifting her, and she wants people to continue uplifting others. And I thought that was just a great message in general.
For sure. I 100% agree. It was amazing. I loved, like you said, how overwhelmed she was. She was just like, the fact that you'd even consider me in this conversation is amazing. And I think she'd be incredible. Like, she is such a great actress on Pose. She literally kills it. I think they obviously look so much alike. So it's like uncanny, the resemblance. So that would be amazing too. And just how historic that would be for a trans actress to be a lead. Correct me if I'm wrong, is there anybody in the MCU or in like the DC universe that's trans? An actor?
No, not in the MCU movies.
Yeah.
There was a trans actor on the Netflix, Jessica Jones.
Oh, okay.
But they canceled that. So in the actual movie franchise, there's not been a trans actor.
Yeah. So I think that just for that reason, just being historic, and that maybe not even just for that reason, but for an extra, to have that kind of historic moment for her to be seen that way, it would just be an amazing feat for Hollywood. And I think that we've come so far, and I feel like that's the next step, which to be cast trans people in such prominent roles because they are so deserving.
Absolutely, well said. And also, not only do we have to cast more trans people of color in our movies and our television, we also have to cast and shed light to the drag community because it's such a diverse community. And this story just kind of like boiled my blood with Shea Coulee of her opening up about the racism that she faced in the Chicago drag scene. And it hurts me because I was actually a fan of this queen, T-Rex. She hosted a very popular show at Roscoe's Tavern in Chicago, where Shea's from. She's a Chicago queen. and she would host weekly after shows of the Drag Race. And I would tune into them. I was like, yes, this is so good. She would have guests on from Drag Race and also not from Drag Race, just popular drag queens. And Shay was always one of them. And it's funny because they would always like bring the girls that were like sent home that week. So if like Scarlet Envy was sent home that week, they'd have Scarlet. So you kind of knew who was going home. But anyways, I digress. But Shay opened up during a Twitch event. It was a Black Drag Council for Chicago. And she actually opened up against T-Rex and told a story that T-Rex, you made a joke for Black History Month. It would be funny as a number that we performed Britney Spears' Slave for You with me dressed as a slave while the rest of you whip me. And Kool-Aid was the only Black member of the cast.
Oh my God.
And so, and that's not just it. There's been other stories of T-Rex coming out. There's a lot of people not being afraid of speaking out anymore. And even like wrestling, you know, we're wrestling fans. There's so many women coming up against some of the men that like have abused them. And I find this movement very powerful, and I applaud the bravery of these victims, and Shay being one of them, of racism. So I just want to know your thoughts about how even in our community, the drag community, the LGBTQIA+ community, there's still so much work that we have to do, and the racism that's coming from a lot of the white gays. I know we always drag the white gays, but it just is it's a reoccurring thing, and it's very problematic.
No, I 100% agree. God, like for anyone to even think, even as a joke or anything of that nature, to even think that's okay to say is 100% awful. And the fact that he even associated Britney Spears with that kind of ignorance and racism is even more disgusting. Like how Britney Spears is a 100% absolute ally, and for him to put that kind of light on that situation was disgusting. And I 100% agree with you that I feel like there's still so much work to be done in our own community. You know, my uncle says it best. He's like, the world is already so hard on us as a community. Why are we hard on each other? Like literally we're supposed to be working together, building each other up. And why are we like villainizing each other or coming for each other when we should be working to make everybody else see us in a positive light? Like we know we're great. So why should we be tearing each other down? So I cannot deal with this kind of ignorance, and it's just absolutely disgusting. So T-Rex is canceled.
Absolutely. And then Roscoe's Tavern that employed T-Rex actually let them go. So terminated contract, no more. And they're going to do their best to employ more Black trans people, more Black queens, and more genderqueer people in their show. So I think that's just fabulous. It's important because we don't want to see, like I said earlier, Wonder Bread. That's like dead ass. Cut the cameras. So thank you so much for Shay for opening up and sharing your story, because this is unacceptable at this point. We talked about Britney Spears, so why don't we talk about a little bit more Britney Spears and what she had to say this week, right, Brian?
Yes, let's do some pop divas this week. So I want to talk about Britney, but I also just want to shout out really quickly before I do all the amazing LGBT allies we've been having this month. Obviously, we love our pop divas. They always come through for us. They shout us out on Pride Month. So we love that so much. We have Hayley Kiyoko, who's not only an ally, but a member, which is amazing. We have other members like Fletcher. We had Dua Lipa, Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, Kim Petras. We had all these amazing pop divas coming out in support. And a lot of the things they were doing wasn't just a tweet or anything on social media. It was actionable. They were doing these live streams to get awareness out there. They were partnering with major brands to really elevate this platform. So I'm absolutely loving what all our pop divas have been doing. But just for fun, I wanted to talk about Britney because of her hilarious shout out for us. It was sweet. I personally loved it because I thought it was just so hilarious and endearing. Like she literally just made so much fun. She's like, the gays have given me some of the best nights of my life. Thank you so much. And then she yelled at her boyfriend, who is gorgeous, by the way, literally a king. So it was hilarious. I want to know your thoughts about Britney's shout out and just how our pop divas have been coming through for us as allies.
Britney is a mood, let me tell you that. Shout out to, I'm just happy that a lot of like these pop divas are coming out, supporting Pride Month, supporting Black Lives Matter, because you don't understand like the reach that you're utilizing with your platform, you know? So it's great that like the people that I love and support are supporting us in return, and everyone, because everyone deserves equal freaking rights. Try not to curse. It's so second nature, especially in quarantine. So it's great. Like I said, Britney's a mood. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to say this to be shady. When I saw the video, I was like scrolling past on my Twitter, and then like I saw Britney, but I kid you not, I thought it was Derek Barry at first. I thought it was Derek Barry, but then I was like, wait, okay, let me see what Derek said. Oh, it's actually Britney Spears. But she's such a hoot. She's so funny. She knows her target audience. She knows the gays love her and she
Yes.
loves the gays. And she's just so funny. Like, I love that throughout all these years, she's like grown a lot, but she's still very, she just has fun with herself. She makes fun of herself. And Brittany, thank you so much. Thank you for shouting us out. You know that we're always here supporting you. You're hilarious.
Yes.
And shout out to everyone that's been supporting us in return, like Haley Kiyoko, my queen, my lesbian Jesus.
I know you love her. Yes.
I love her. I love her so much. But any more thoughts on Brittany or any of these pop divas?
No, like you said, just thanks to them for being allies, being members, and just supporting the community because this is our month, Pride Month. You know, we didn't get to have the big celebrations like we would like, but that's totally not even a big thing. Like literally, people are dying, so it's okay. We'll have many more prides to come. So yeah, just we love the support, especially in these crazy times, and we'll see you all at Pride in 2021.
I know. It's us. I absolutely well said. I mean, we're the ones buying their singles, buying their albums, buying their merch. So give us our dues, girls. Give us our dues. We love you. So, you know, I have to end the episode with some shade. So for Read All About It, I got to talk about Jeffree Star and clickbait. Girl, I could not sit through this video of Jeffree Star saying, first date does my makeup. I don't know if you watched this video, but that's all you got to. That's okay. You didn't have to. You didn't miss nothing.
I saw the thumbnail and I was like, what?
But basically, Jeffree Star broke up. He's been single, I guess, for a while. And I feel like Jeffree Star, one, is problematic, has a racist past. It keeps coming up. And it's okay, it's not okay to be racist by any means, but it's good to take accountability, which Jeffree's done. But at the same time, there's constant stories of your racism and new racist antics coming to surface. And so I'm like, why are people still continuing to give you this platform? You know what I'm saying? And so he's running out of ideas. He's trying to look good for his audience at this time. He casts a black man, Josiah, who was on Big Brother, who was on MTV. So I'm like, okay, Josiah, I've seen you also on Grindr, by the way. I've seen you in WeHo.
Come on, nearby.
So, I just think it's like, are you doing this to appease your fans of your blatant racism? Are you, especially during right now when we're supporting Black Lives Matter, it just seems a little, I don't, like you're trying to please people and trying to cover up and mask your past antics, your past problematic past. That's not even past anymore. I don't know why I'm saying that, because you're still doing these things that are just very questionable and very disgusting. So I don't know what your thoughts about this whole thing were, but it's just very cringeworthy, I'll say.
I don't have much thoughts on Jeffree Star because he is very problematic. Like, you can only go so far in standing. Literally, he has so many things that have resurfaced that, like you said, not even resurfaced. It's happening still at this moment, you know? So this is another example of just the things that he is just so tone deaf about, not even understanding what is really happening in the world. Literally, there are so many other amazing beauty gurus to follow on YouTube to get real good quality makeup, good quality beauty tips from that are not problematic, that are just using their platform for good and to build each other up. So sorry, but Jeffree Star, do not support Jeffree Star. Like, I mean, do if you want, but this is just evidence of his problematic past, his problematic present, and probably his problematic future of the things that he's using his platform for. So I'm not here for it. I can't stand it. And stand Jeffree Star if you want, but I will not.
Yeah, it's just, even Cameron Lester, who's another makeup artist on YouTube, had to let go of the quote unquote friendship that he spoke up about Jeffree Star, because he always thought that there wasn't really a friendship. He was just being used by Jeffree to look good, and that Jeffree's constantly trying to tokenize him and other Black people to have like that one Black person for your campaigns or whatnot. And he even replaced Cameron. So it just seems too shady, and it really just baffles me that people still support him and other people like Shane. And I don't know, that's a whole nother topic. But you know, if you want to support a great makeup artist, a great makeup guru, Our girl Jayla rocks with Bat Me Cosmetics,
Yes.
a Black-owned business, and she's also, some of the proceeds are going to the Black Trans Emergency Fund. So you're supporting her, you're supporting a great organization. So support, just like, remember who you're supporting. Remember, you're buying a lipstick, where the money going to? That's all I gotta say. So support Black-owned businesses, especially right now with makeup. So that's all I gotta say. Enough. We're done dragging Jeffrey. But that's been our amazing show. Thank you so much, Bryant, for joining me today. It's been iconic. Absolutely. But until then, Bryant, where can we find you on social media?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at the Brian Santos. Catch me on AfterBuzz TV's Quarantine with the Stars. Like I said, if you like Love Victor, check out my interview with Isabella Ferreira. I also interview a lot of cuties there. Rona Rubenstein, Carson Rowland. Check those all out. Have fun. Love you all. Mwah.
Well, hopefully you can get Thomas Beattie on the show.
Oh, you know what? I need to. I'm also trying to get Michelle Maroney from 365 Days. You know what? So let me know.
Get into it. And I'm sad this is our last show for Pride. It's so bittersweet.
Oh my God.
But it's been amazing. I am your host, Ollie Drennan. Follow me on social media at Ollie Dreamer. And also follow Amir Yasai at Amir Yasai. Until then, we'll be back, not in Pride Month, but we will be as gay as ever for Gay Twitter. Bye, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.